Ain't no half stabbing with Marcus J. Thank y'all everybody for staying with us tonight. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. And of course my co-host is fussing at me, but I ain't turned the mic on yet, so y'all don't even hear her fussing and whatnot. She fussing at me, and I'm the only one that knows, and it's all right with me for her to fuss at me because I'm fuss atable because I get fussed at a lot. But anyway, it's time for us to jump into the Diva Diaries with my sister Dating Pool Diva. You ready to jump in here and you ready to jump in here?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, Diva. What you got? You got the Diva Diaries. You know, we playing your little music. You know, you got to hear your music before you can say anything. So, you know, they get your song. So, there you go. Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Dating Pool Diva. Diva Diaries. What you got, girl?
That's my song.
I know it is.
Let's just start off real fun with the yay or nay segment. Remember the yay or nay segment?
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be speed round, so I'm just going to ask you some really quick questions, and you just say yay or nay to it. And yeah, turn
Mike's
her
been
mic
on.
on,
Maybe if you
man. We
picked
need
it up
some
and spoke
female.
into it.
I was spoken into it.
And now they can hear you because you picking it up.
I don't like it.
I don't care.
Rain or shine, Monday through Sunday.
I don't care.
Okay, can we have a truce? Where's the white flag?
I know what it is.
I ain't waving
I know
no way.
exactly what it is. And I knew it was something.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
some damn see-through glasses.
Wow, I'm just noticing that.
I'm in a shitty mood. So when I'm in a shitty
Usually
mood,
you have the dark shades
right,
on.
and it got the clears because I'm in a shitty mood.
Every time.
Every time
Your
what?
crappiness just kind of comes right through. I am. How close you want it?
My
Okay.
crabbiness comes through when I got on
What?
clears
Yes.
because I'm in a shitty
Just a
mood.
nasty
So when you see I got on
thing.
clear glasses, leave my ass alone. How
Then
about
why
that?
would you not come in on the day that you have to put on clear glasses? Clearly, I can handle this.
We taking up the
Okay.
Diva's time.
Okay.
Can we get the Diva in
Y'all
here?
gonna make me get crappy now. This is
Please
Diva
don't.
Diaries.
Please don't.
If she get crabby, she ain't scaring nobody.
I'm not talking to you.
Shoot, I ain't talking to you.
We'll
Then
take
who
your
you
shoe
looking at? You
again.
cross-eyed?
Ain't nobody thinking about neither one
And
of y'all.
take a
I will
picture
fight a
of your
girl
feet
up in here.
again.
I'll
And I
fight
will
two
fight
of
a
them.
boy up in here.
Anyway, Diva.
First
Seeing as though
question.
we supposed to be like having harmonious conversations.
Yes, this is
during
the
Diva
love revolution.
And here we is beefing, and it's all because of her.
First question. Yay or nay? Should a man pay for the first date? That's why.
Yes. Oh, yay.
Yay.
Oh, excuse me, because he's pointing to the mic. Like, didn't I tell you so? Yay.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Marcus J.
Yay.
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 Why yay?
Monster.
That's why.
I thought this was a quick yay or nay.
Well, first you say yay or nay, then you explain why you say
You know, now it becomes, kind of open-ended here. Now I got to give you a whole reason why.
You don't have to.
Because I'm not.
Okay.
It's more of a gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah.
know?
I think yay too. The first date at least sets
Yeah.
the precedence. Okay.
Second and
Question
third.
2. Is sex appropriate on the first date?
Whoa.
Yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay?
Yay.
Yay. You're a man. Of course you'd say yay.
Of course.
In all circumstances or certain circumstances?
Certain.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Like, give
What
us example.
circumstance would make the first date okay to have sex?
I know people who have done it and gotten
But what's
together
the
and been very
circumstance?
happy. I mean, if you win them, I'm not one of those people. Y'all know me. I'm not one of those people that has parameters, time bound parameters around that kind of stuff. You know, if you feel, you know, he and her feel a connection with each other, then go for it. You know, to sit around and say, oh, well, I'm going to have to wait a week, or I'm going to have to wait a month, or I'm going to have to wait 90 days. That's whack to me. I know people who, I always talk about a friend of mine from back home in Jersey. She met her husband coming home from Afghanistan, got married a week later. It's a good bet they did it on the first day. I mean, you know, I don't know for a fact. She didn't tell me if she did, but I'm not sure you're going to marry somebody 7 days after meeting them and you ain't never done nothing. That's just my thought. I'm
That
just saying.
makes the honeymoon even better.
Okay, well, I say yay.
Yay. Okay.
Why you gotta make that face?
I would say
It's the only face I got.
nay in most circumstances, but I've been guilty before, so I can't say
What was the
all
circumstances? Involuntary throbbing at the dinner table?
Lust.
Depends on what's throbbing.
Yeah.
Oh, we know what's throbbing.
Yeah. That's the circumstance.
Wow.
Lust.
Bouncing you out the seat, huh? Boy,
Yeah.
Okay.
Question
Yeah.
3. A man should lead, a woman should follow. Yay or nay?
Yay.
That's why.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh,
I
a
got
man
it.
should lead, a woman should follow. Yay or nay?
Oh, whoa.
Whoa now. Whoa, doggy.
Well, now that depends on what we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
You know what? We have a listener, Carlos, and he made a comment about first dates, and he is saying no for most people. No.
Mm-hmm. For the pan?
For having sex on the
Oh,
first date.
okay.
Yes. And
That's
thank you for
that's
listening,
odd
Carlos.
for a gentleman to say that,
And he is such a gentleman. He
Mhm.
really is.
because a lot of guys would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm one of them. Yeah. It doesn't mean that I'm not a gentleman because I said yay. And
That's not what I said either.
you said he's such a gentleman. He don't want no booty on the first night. Whatever.
See, you're inferring.
what?
You're inferring there. But back to the question
She's
at
inferring
hand.
that, man. That's how
You
this
know
night
what?
gonna
No
go.
ad-libbing
It's gonna
you.
go like
Turn
that.
off your mic.
Hell no, I ain't turning off my mic. You must be
You
crazy.
wait until I learn how to run that board. I'm just going to
All that means is I might not teach you.
That's why
Well, I'm sorry, dear.
a man should lead, a woman should
Well,
follow.
that depends
Yay
on
or
what you
nay?
mean. Now, I'm
In
like
all
you.
circumstances.
I'm like you right now. I have questions.
In all circumstances, the man should be the leader, the woman should be the follower. Do you agree with that?
I believe that there are. All right, for the sake of argument, I'm going to say yes because in some instances I will say yes.
But not in all. What are
Not
those
in all.
ones you don't you
Y'all
say
don't
no?
y'all don't want to do that tonight. No,
We ain't got
you
time
just
for that.
No, you don't.
Okay.
But he is supposed to be
The leader.
the leader in the family, and our leaders. Period. So let's see what old boy's got good to go.
Well, definitely from a biblical
He
standpoint
is supposed to be.
and from societal standpoint, that's how it has been. But a feminist may say it should be the other way around. The woman should lead and the man should
I
follow.
wouldn't say that either. Oh Lord, I wouldn't say that either. But in some cases, I'll just, for argument's sake, say yeah.
Yay, okay. Next question. What is your definition of a romantic date? Now,
That's not
this
a yay,
this is
no
not
question.
a yay or nay, but
I don't know
just
why
a
she keep
speed,
doing
just a speed question.
What's your definition of a romantic date? Somewhere quiet, somewhere intimate, somewhere with external forces enhancing the internal fire. For example, if you want to go and have a nice dinner, intimate dinner where ain't nobody around, a nice little corner of a restaurant, or if you want to go someplace, maybe sit by the water. I'm someone who likes water. I'm someone who likes astronomy, and so watching sunsets or sunrises, stuff like that.
You do?
Say again?
I said, really, you do?
Well, I do, yeah.
So romantical.
I mean, that's what I think is romantic. I mean, she might think it's whack. Oh, it's
like
bugs. I don't want to get bitten. So, I mean,
Oh,
really
well, that's
does
me too.
it? It depends. I mean, romance is, something that has to be agreed upon by both parties. So I can think that it's really cool. If she thinks that it sucks, then I just wasted whatever time it took for me to think it up and whatever time it took for me to get her there. So, but that's what I think.
I pretty much agree.
Okay.
If we talk enough and he grasps some of the things that I like, no matter what they are,
Right.
no matter how far-fetched they may seem, and I get a romantic evening like that or something with that, that's thumbs up for me.
Right. I think that it really does depend on what that person likes, what's romantic to them, and observing, you know, just watching them. What do they tend to gravitate towards? If they gravitate towards water, always wanting to go to the beach or the lake or whatever, then to be thoughtful enough to plan something like that would be romantic.
Yeah, it's nice, yeah.
Next, the next Love Revolution, third Saturday's event we're going to talk about love languages. We're going to talk about being able to read your partner or potential mate's love language. You know, what kind of things, you know, really do make them feel loved. And paying attention to those type of things make you feel loved.
Yep.
You know, another question is not a yay or nay. It's just a quick question. What do you consider an exciting date?
An exciting date.
I guess it depends. Honestly, and this is not politically correct, and I might take a shot for this one, but exciting date depends on your company. You know what I mean? You could be, you know, walking down the street with the right person and you feeling excited, you know, but you could be sitting in the beach or looking at that sunrise or sunset that I just spoke of with a boring person and not feel excited. You know, so it depends. Like, you know, I can't give you a specific situation. I wish that I could. I know that's what you're looking for, but for me, it depends on who you with. If you with somebody that excites you, then anything that you do with that person is going to be exciting. Whether that means sitting at the bar of your favorite restaurant with that person and just kicking it, or just walking through, you know, wherever. I mean, it just depends.
I think for me, it'd have to be something adrenaline, you know, rush, like amusement park or, you know, laser tag or something.
I thought about that. And then, you know, I thought maybe it could be anything that just takes my attention, just totally amazes me. You know, I could say that was, you know,
something that
exciting
shocks
to
you,
me. Yeah,
something
like,
different.
I'm just, wow. You know, not so much something that gets my adrenaline going or, you know, I'm involved in, but I don't know, that's a little difficult. That takes a little more thinking.
Like if he flew you to Paris or something like that night, just spontaneously.
Oh yeah,
would that be exciting?
But you can say that all you want, but the reality is that long ass 7-hour flight, you're gonna be tired by the time you got there. Like everybody says that's cool, so romantic, hyped. But I mean, realistically, I mean, unless you live in London when it's an hour flight. I mean, if somebody flew you from Richmond to Miami, that might be different. But
he's flying me to Paris. I'm first class. I'm tequila shots all the way there. I'm not even gonna know how long that flight
so you're gonna be drunk after a 7-hour flight. Okay,
no,
I get it. I got
I
you.
won't be drunk. I can.
You just said you taking
baby.
shots.
Oh, that didn't say I was gonna be drunk.
How you gonna take? It's 7 hours flight and you taking shots?
I'm not gonna drink for 7 hours, Marcus. I gotta have time for blue chips and peanuts.
Okay, let's transition to another question.
Like him today.
A scenario.
I'm not really interested in whether you like me or not.
I need y'all to stop fighting so you can hear the scenario.
You're gonna be okayer.
You know what? Yeah, on the other side
you're
of the
door.
You're
You're
gonna be Fred Flintstone's Tiger in a minute.
Huh? I don't know what you just said. You're making up stuff.
I'm not.
That's what you do. Make up stuff. Hey, Diva.
Yes.
What's the next topic?
Can I proceed?
Huh?
What happened?
What? I don't know why you stopped.
What happened? You guys been fighting since you've been here. That's why.
Okay, I'm going to ignore him.
Okay. This is a common scenario. I need y'all to listen up, okay?
Yes,
you
Mom.
meet
You know I don't
someone
like her,
online. You don't like her?
I don't like her.
I don't care.
Okay, cool. You meet
You
someone
apparently
online?
don't like me either because you're like botching up my Diva Diaries.
I'm sorry.
Shut your mouth for a change, why don't you? It's always going.
Common scenario. You meet someone online, you exchange numbers, and you have a great conversation on the phone. You two have a lot in common and enjoy talking to each other. Everything is awesome, except you have never met the person. When you suggest meeting after a significant amount of time, he or she says, maybe next week, I'm really busy this week, etc. How long do you continue to just deal with this person on the phone before having an actual first date or meeting? That's why.
Well, that depends. Am I talking to this person to date this person? Or am
Eventually.
I just meeting a friend? Just met a friend.
You want to meet them eventually.
So I want to date this person? That's the goal of this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm not dealing with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not dealing
Marcus,
with it.
what you think?
I mean, again, it's not really a time frame. I'm not one that's driven by how long something takes. I like to consider myself as relatively patient, and so, Lord knows I got to be patient dealing with y'all folks, but seriously, I mean, I'm patient. So I mean, but when I run out of patience, there's no warning. That's just I'm out of patience.
If your goal is to meet that person, to date them, get to know them, and they want to stay on the phone, wouldn't you feel like you're wasting your time?
I would
after
move on.
months?
I would move on. I'm not somebody. I'm 40 years old. I ain't got time for that shit. For real.
Anybody got time for
Yeah,
that?
I ain't got time for that. I'm 40 years old. I'm going to die in like 40 more years, okay? I'm not going to be sitting around.
Wow, why'd you put a number on it?
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I exaggerated to make the point that I don't have the time nor the patience to play
at 80?
to play the that's games. That's childish. I don't want to do that. So if we've been talking on the phone, and especially if you're not that far from me. You know what I mean? It'd be one thing if it was like a long distance thing and there was a built-in reason for why we ain't been kicking it. But if you live 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, even an hour, let's say you're in Richmond, this person's in Virginia Beach, that's an hour. That's 100 miles.
Right.
Or DC, it's 100 miles. So, after a while, I'm taking that as you ain't trying to kick it. It's time to move on.
Well, this scenario is common to me. It happens to me a lot because I'm on the different dating sites and stuff, and I meet people and we talk on the phone, and it seems like we vibe real well, but they don't really seem like they want to meet. And I'm like, well, why are you on a dating site? Why are we even exchanging numbers?
In the words of the soup Nazi.
Next! Yeah, but it's always next. It's like next.
So let it be next. If you with somebody, because you also have these people who troll, who that's how they get their jollies, by talking on the internet to people. You know what I mean? So if you're on a site that's based upon dating, and you ain't trying to date, then quit wasting my time.
Right. That's how I feel. I
feel
move frustrated.
Okay, then move on.
And I usually do.
There you
but
go.
I guess I don't really understand. And I'm sure it's other people out there with the same frustration. Like, why are you exchanging numbers? You know what I'm about, because I say what I'm about on my profile. You know what I'm looking for. Why are we even exchanging numbers?
Well, you also know about the representative. I mean, you got the theory of the people, you find out who people are after you spend some time with them.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the representative is jacked up, then why waste your time? Because the person ain't going to be all that great either.
Right.
They doing their best right now. Are they talking to you?
I mean, you trying. I mean, if you dealing with someone, in the first year or whatever, they say it takes at least that long for you to get, when you realize who a person is the first time you piss them off. Mm-hmm. That's when you realize who they are. If you done pissed them off or her off, and how they react towards you, depending on how they feel about you, you might get the full fire of death coming out of them. You know what I mean? Or you might get them being real pissed. They pissed, but they temper how pissed they are because they care about you. So they don't want to hurt you, but they want you to know that you done messed up.
Right.
Be thankful that they are saying not now, maybe next time, or something's come up, or whatever the case is, because imagine you wasting your time and energy and getting to the meetup spot and they don't come. So thank you for not wasting even more of my time, loser.
I mean, like I said, you find out who folks are when you pissed off at them, or they pissed off at you. Mm-hmm. So I would say that you pissed off at this person before you even met them. Move on. They have not built the equity that comes with forgiving a person for doing something stupid. You know what I'm saying? If you've been with someone or you're dealing with someone and they're pissing you off and you've spent time with them, you know what they're about, you love them, or at least like them, then you might be a little bit more, patient, invested or patient to go through, especially if you done messed up and they mad at you. You know what I mean? But if you dealing with someone and they pissing you off and you ain't even laid eyes on them, man,
yeah,
forget that.
Roll that newspaper up and put it in the fireplace.
Yeah, man. Move on.
Okay, let's move it on to the next scenario. This is a real life scenario from an anonymous blogger on the Love Revolution on Facebook. And Marcus, you may remember this situation, so listen up. You have been dating a special someone for 1 year. You love the company and you're really just having fun. This special someone has failed to invite you to his or her house as of yet, even though there have been to your house numerous times. Do you remember this?
I do.
Okay. The question is, what do you think of this problem? Do you think this is a problem? If so, what would you do in this situation? Now, this is something that we posted not too long ago, and some time has went by, and I have an update on the actual situation at this point. But I just want to know what you guys think.
Before we get the update.
Where's the mate? Where's the mate?
Where's the mate?
Mm-hmm.
The mate. Yeah, you figured it out.
That's all that spells.
Well, I remember when we had this on the Love Revolution, Marcus was like, I don't see the problem. They just not ready to show their home.
I mean, obviously I didn't have all the information, but no, I stand by it. I mean, what's the problem? And it doesn't matter if it's male, female. If you kicking it, then what's the difference? It doesn't matter where you kick it at. I mean, if we go to your house or my house, shouldn't the big deal be that we're spending time together? Now,
but I never get to come to your house. That's not suspicious?
It depends on how long we're talking about, and it depends on how strong you are about wanting to come. You know what I mean? If it's one of those things where it's like, can I come see your house? It's like, it's a mess. And then it don't come up again.
You go, okay.
Yeah, and then it don't come up again, that's one thing. But if you badgering me about it, and I don't want to say badgering, that's a negative connotation, but it's something that's important. If it's something that's important to you, and the person is standoffish about it, absolutely that's a red flag. Right. You want to know why. You know what I mean? And some folks are real vain about where they live, man. They just are. And that's where my mindset was when I was debating that, when I was discussing that before. Some folks are just real vain. They don't like where they live, or they don't feel comfortable sharing where they live, or they're not proud of where they live and that kind of stuff. And so they don't want you to see it because they think that you'll come away feeling some kind of way about them because of where they live. I understand all that, man. I do. But at the end of the day, if you're really kicking it with someone, you really like somebody, then
for months, a year.
I mean, if you're really kicking it with someone and you really like someone and they already done seen your ass, like literally, then if I can see your ass,
I can see your place.
Then I can see your place.
And that's basically the situation. At that point, they have been dating for about a year, and about 6 months later, what did you just say, SY?
That spouse came out the woodworks.
Yes, the girlfriend came out the woodworks. There was a visit to the home. I don't know how she found out where he lived.
Sugar, what? She done violated some space.
There was a visit to the home, and there was a confrontation that took place with the mate that was living there with him.
That's sad.
Yeah, very, very interesting situation.
I'm sorry that she had to go or he had to go through that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. People are really, really funky, y'all. Really funky. You got to watch that.
Get this, though. The person is still dealing with that person.
So, and at this point, whatever happens, you ask for it.
Right.
You ask for it.
And a lot of times I'm not going to say we, but a lot of ladies will go through all of that drama of investigating. Does he have another woman? Is he cheating on me? And then you find out and you're still dealing with it.
Listen, all I ask is that if you are going to do that, you bad, you the man, right? Then be man enough to say so.
Right.
I don't need the time to figure it out. I don't need the time to worry about it. I don't. That's a headache that I can afford not to have.
Right.
So I won't. Just don't be
And
bothered.
in this case, some women will just deal with it.
Nah, not happening.
They'll still be with you
Not
if you just be honest and say it.
Because now, not only is it you sleeping with me, you sleeping with her, and what if you not only lied to me about her or her about me, but about us to her? You know?
Right.
So maybe there's 3 people, maybe there's 4 people. That's something I'm not willing to go through. That's some crap.
Yeah,
It
drama.
just doesn't warrant the time of day. And until that person realizes what they want, that they deserve it, and who they are, all that crap right there is just going to keep on coming. They're just going to welcome all that nasty, negative energy.
Yeah.
So,
I
unfortunately,
think it's
they
adventurous at this point.
It's not adventurous. What's adventurous is finding someone who will be faithful to you. If you want to take a trip, find somebody who's going to be faithful to you and work on that relationship instead of having a relationship with someone who's giving you 10% of themselves.
Right.
And then you got agony in a bag to deal with it. And then you got to deal with pressures of some chick coming to your house. Man, hell no, that's permission for hot oil in your face. I don't think so.
Hot
No.
oil.
Well, if I'm going to cook, hey, there's no reason. There's no reason to put yourself through it.
Don't make her too mad, Marcus
There's
J.
no reason.
Hot grease.
There's just no reason. You know, I mean, I'm exaggerating. I don't have the time to make the hot grease because she's already here, right?
Right,
so I'm just
right.
exaggerating. But, I mean, why put yourself on purpose do something so stupid?
Right. I don't know, but a
I-
lot of
I
women
don't
have
understand.
reality shows around this kind of stuff.
I don't understand.
What do you think, Marcus J?
It's love.
You think it's
What's
love?
love got to do with it?
You gonna let me talk?
That ain't love.
Well, you feel what you feel on the inside.
Love is not supposed
when you,
to hurt.
but when you, I understand that. But when you on the outside, it's easy to judge what's going on with somebody else on the inside. But when you feel love, and you feel closeness, and you feel companionship, it can make you do things that are out of character. Because we know about dopamine. We know what dopamine is. We know about the chemical imbalance that goes on when we feel good. And oftentimes we do things that we wouldn't normally do because of how we feel. And so, you're talking about ladies, fellas do similar things that are out of character, which, at another time we can debate them. This isn't the forum for it. That's not what we're talking about. But I'm just saying, dopamine is a serious thing, man. And, if we can have the discussion, which we have had on this show in the past, about understanding depression and understanding, people who feel a certain kind of way inside themselves, then we can apply it to this. When you're depressed, you do shit that you wouldn't normally do. When you feel an intense feeling of love, you do shit that you wouldn't normally do. Oftentimes you got somebody that'll do something that, is not politically correct because they like how they felt when they was doing it. And they'll deal with whatever consequences there are later, even if those consequences are based in pain. We've all seen it, so we can't act like we ain't never seen it, because we have. We all know people who've dealt with it. We all know people who do it. We may not know their personal business, but trust me, we all know somebody that goes through stuff that, if they told you all they shit, you'd look at them like, wow, okay, for real, you going through that? So we've talked about that on this show and others in the past. So it's not that far out of the realm of possibility that something as simple but complicated as love causes not just these women, but these men to do this dumb shit that they do, especially when they know better. Because that's the question. Once you know better, you're supposed to do better. But oftentimes we don't do better because we can't help ourselves.
The emotions are clouding their actual judgment. You got to have a drink on that. Yeah, I don't want that kind of love, but I understand what you're talking about. But
Dang.
I want some logic. One of y'all to clock me over the head or something and say, wake the hell up. That's stupid as hell. Don't do that. You know?
But I mean, oftentimes, man, when you really having, a difficult time in your life, it's not anybody telling you anything. You know what I mean? It's oftentimes it's your life telling you, or it's, you come into a realization on your own. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing nobody could if I came to you and said, Diva, I see you going through X, Y, and Z, this is what I think you should do, you're gonna tell me to mind my business.
I would not. I come to you often for advice.
I understand, and yes, you do, but I'm just saying, for the purpose of the discussion, if I discuss with you some stuff that you wasn't ready to talk about, then yeah, I would get mind my business. Mind your business. I don't want to talk about that. And you may not say it in that way,
right,
but you would make it plain that that's not something that you want to discuss with me. And so you will deal with it in your own way until you're ready to bring in somebody who has an opinion.
Well, usually it takes like a really devastating moment for you to get that realization that you're talking about.
Hopefully it doesn't, but yeah, sometimes it does. But hopefully it doesn't, but I mean, the unfortunate reality is it sometimes does. Sometimes does.
Yeah. I think some things are just comfortable too. It might not necessarily be love, but habit. You're just comfortable with that person. And so breaking a bad habit is really hard. I'm trying to break one now with my poor diet. And it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You
gonna join me? You gonna join me?
187 pounds to 170.
I'm not even trying to lose weight though. I just want to eat
you just
more.
Eat better?
Yeah, I want to be more healthy. I don't want to have diabetes. I don't want to have heart problems.
I will certainly help you, but who's to say that when you go home, you're going to listen to me?
I will listen to you.
That you
have to join the Natural Health Challenge on my Facebook.
I will do that. Freak SY Butler, who's she telling what to eat? If I feel like eating this,
Did I not eat the damn leaves and hummus with you?
That's because you were with me.
Right.
Okay, but I said, who's to say when I'm not around, what you gonna do?
You gonna be around because you'll be whispering in my little ear. Did you eat your hummus and leaves today?
I'm that little devil on the side in the black and yellow, and she gonna be like, shut up. Brush me off her shoulder.
We have to encourage each other. Just like you guys invited me to come work out.
Sure.
I came.
Will.
And I was feeling like crap that day, and I still came.
Yes, you did.
I certainly will.
I think we all were in shitty moods that day. I think, like, literally, I think all of us was in a shitty mood that day.
But it was fun, right?
Yeah, it was fun, I think I might have ran like 100 miles an hour on that damn treadmill.
His feet were like, catch me if you can.
Yeah, man. I was not in a great mood that day. But I mean, sometimes that's what you need. That's the motivation you need to, I don't know if there's anybody that's listening to us that's trying to change their physical appearance or diet or work out or whatever it is, but I tell you, anger and frustration is a very strong motivator.
Right.
When you're in the gym, especially if you trying to prove something to, whether it be to somebody or to yourself.
Prove it to yourself.
You know what I mean? Because I at one point I was on the treadmill that day, like, and I was getting with every step I took, I was getting madder and madder and madder and whatnot. And one body was trying to shut down. I was like, no, and I kept turning up the speed to go faster.
I was like, wait a minute. Was that his left foot? Wait, nope.
No,
right,
man.
Wait, no.
I kept turning up the speed to go faster and faster and faster. And I was looking at it. My chest was about to explode. And I told my chest, "You better not explode." I will not.
Let me tell you,
like I punked myself.
You should see his form because he was sticking out his chest like he was mad. He was mad running. His chest was stuck out. His arms were so tight, and he was like running. I was like, oh my, look at Marcus J, y'all.
Hey, look, man, I was simulating a cop behind me.
I was like, oh, he was getting out of town, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. I thought Officer Darren Wilson was trying to shoot me. Run! Have Steppin Marcus J 804-402-2893 is the number to dial to be a part of the show on Legacy Internet Radio. We are, in fact, the flagship show. We appreciate everybody that's listening to us right now live on TuneIn, as well as special thanks to everybody that's listening to us during the replays on YouTube. So, Diva, you got some more? What you got?
That was basically what I had there. Unless you want me to continue, I always have my trusty book here.
Give us one more. And then we'll take it home.
Yeah, find something really good.
Yeah, we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna take it home. So she just randomly pulled out.
Ooh.
In the interest of everybody that can't see her, she just SY just randomly pulled out a page, and SY and I have no idea what page you just pulled out. Diva's got it in front of her, right out of the blog book. Diva, what did she pull out?
We have discussed this question before, but we can revisit it, and it's a really tough, deep question.
Oh, I made a mistake. My finger slipped.
What would you do if you fell for a man or woman who you later found to have committed murder or rape 20 years prior?
Yeah, we did talk about that. You know, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I have no idea what the hell I said.
You wanted to match up with the old show?
Well, I mean, you always want to be consistent with what you say, but you also have to be realistic with how you feel. I am an emotional man. I've been on record as saying I'm an emotional man, and part of being an emotional man means that sometimes my opinions on things like this might change.
Right.
And I reserve the right to change my mind about something. And so,
well, don't worry about it. That
was
an old show from 2 years ago or something.
That's my disclaimer. Like I said, I don't remember what I said, but again, I don't know anything about 20 years ago, or I don't like setting time frames and stuff like that. If I'm with somebody and my instinct tells me this is a good person, then I'm rolling with the good person, and I'm not going to worry about something that you did before I even knew you. I'm not tripping off of that, because I also know that there are sometimes good reasons for taking somebody out. Now, rape, that's rape. Once you rape, I think that rape should get a higher charge than murder, because your victim's still alive and has to deal with your punk ass. Mm-hmm. So that to me is, at least, and I know it sounds cold blooded, but at least when you kill somebody, they don't have to sit there and watch you. They can haunt you and make you have cricks in your neck and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
have you been haunted before? Because you seem to know the process.
Oh my.
No, not since since my other life. Anyway.
You get crooks in your neck when someone haunts you.
Don't listen to him.
Don't listen to me. But rape is different than murder to me. It just is, because you can explain why you kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I killed somebody because they was messing with my daughter. I killed somebody, because they killed my best friend. Ricky from Boys in the Hood. If Doughboy went and got him, I don't think anybody would blame him.
No! Break out!
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So,
reenactment.
I guess the short answer for me is I have questions.
You have questions.
Yep.
Yes.
What are your questions?
I have questions.
Because this is pretty specific.
It is pretty specific, yeah. But for me, I would need to know more information on an individual situation before I can answer that one fully.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so would I. I would need to know what it is. And rape is different. I mean, I believe rape is an act that you do on purpose. Mm-hmm. There's just no way around it. There's no way around it. But yeah, there could be a reason why, you murdered somebody. It could have been self-defense why that person was murdered. You don't know. So yeah, I would have questions.
Okay, let's say it's just murder. Wouldn't you look at the love of your life a little differently than you did at first?
Again, we're going through what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I would need to find out why someone was killed.
Did they get framed for murder? Did they murder the guy that raped their child? Did they, kill the guy who, burn up their house and their mother was in it? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you might kill somebody. Now, if you kill somebody who who beat you in a dice game,
now we got issues.
That might be a little bit different.
What if he was like a drug dealer?
Let me not burn his ass.
And he was a drug dealer. I mean, or she was a drug dealer.
I would need to know how you spent the last 20. I would need to know how you spent the last 20 years, and I also need to know how you spent the initial time when you got out. If you went to prison for 20 years and, you know, you've been out for 5 years and you've been a model citizen for that 5 years, then I'm not going to hang that scarlet letter on you like the government will when you can sell a little ass bag of weed. Now you're a convicted felon for the rest of your life.
Right.
I'm not going to do that to a person. You spent your 20 years in jail and you did your time and you came home and you're a model citizen. I'll give you a perfect example of that. Charles S. Dutton, who we all know as Rock from the TV show, he spent many years in prison because he killed somebody, and so did Don King. You know, sometimes, yeah, they both both of them spent time in prison because they killed people, and they came home. And obviously, we know what Charles S. Dutton has done, and we know what Don King has done. And a lot of people don't like Don King, but the truth of the matter is, he ain't killed nobody since he came home. You know, so it was an isolated incident. He served his time. It is what it is.
Right.
And so you might run upon, you know, John Doe. I might run upon Jane Doe, and I might block my own blessing of dealing with someone that could make me really happy because I'm judging them off some shit they did when they was 22 years old, and now they 42 years old.
Okay, now to the rape side of things, there's no therapy or any type of, I guess, rehabilitation.
I mean, for me, there's certain transgressions that you have where there's no coming back from them no matter what. And for me, rape is one of them, and molesting a child is another one, and assaulting an old person is another one, because there is no I was just tripping in that moment, or they did something to me in that moment. There's none of that. You can't go and fall back on this 6-year-old did this to me and this is the reason why I touched them. You can't fall back on, well, she's my wife and I'm supposed to have sex with her and she didn't want to, so now I took it. You know what I mean? And I went to that example because the other examples are more obvious that you don't get to do that. You know, you don't get to beat up an old person who clearly can't defend themselves. You know what I mean? And how do you explain those away? You can't. And so to me, those are different than, you know, we was, you know, like, you know, I'll give you an example. I came across, and I won't say where because it's not appropriate for me to say where, but I'll just say this. I came across some information about a dude who had, he had felonies and all kinds of stuff in his past. And so my initial thought was to have issues with him. But then when there was more investigation into the situation, you know, and the felonies he had was urinating in public was one. That's not a felony, but urinating in public was one transgression. Another transgression he had was an assault. So when you see an assault, you're like, oh, okay, urination in public. Okay, I was drunk in a bar. I had to pee. Right. I mean, you can explain that. A lot of people are guilty of that. And a lot of people are guilty of doing that. But the assault was, you know, the dude who I beat down just smacked my lady in front of me. So I beat him till he couldn't move no more. Right. I probably beat him more than I needed to, but I beat him till he couldn't move no more. That's going to go on that guy's record for the rest of his life as a brutal assault. But I don't think anybody who hears my voice right now would blame him. So I make that example to say that there are certain things that can be explained away.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for participating in the Diva Diaries.
You're welcome. That'll be $5, please.
Diva Diaries.
Wow. Where's my money for taking your place the first 2 hours?
Hey, I didn't tell you to come in here.
see how we do it. Ain't no hashtag on Marcus job. We're going to take final break of the night, and when we come back, we got our rants and our closings. We got the Dating Pool Diva and the co-host S.Y. Butler. Yours truly, Marcus J. And hashtag with Marcus J. Be back in a few minutes.